Are you some sort of sovereign citizen or something?
No, I'm not, and that's defamation.
I'm sorry? I'm asking you a question. I'm not telling you.
No, sir, I do not work for the police.
Are you tired of government overreach and eroded freedoms? At tac-us.org, we're fighting back. We're the Transparency Accountability Coalition, a non-profit defending your constitutional rights. No partisanship, just principle. From protecting free speech to demanding transparency, we're here for you. Visit tac-us.org to learn more and join the movement. tac-us.org, because your rights deserve a voice. Act now.
What is up, everybody? Here's a video from Thabo and Ray. You might know them from Lackluster's video and the Civil Rights Lawyers video. This guy was pulled over twice in 2 different counties for following too close, which is a misdemeanor that he could face up to a year in jail for, which is ridiculous in and of itself. Well, what happened here is after this guy started digging into these 2 counties, and he discovered a multiple county corruption racketeering scheme, and it gets crazy. So this is part 1. I'll try to do the best to cover it all. If you want to watch it without any of my edits, it's really long. I binge watched this whole channel one day. It took me most of the day. So here's part 1. Enjoy, and please subscribe to Thabo and Ray. His last name is Feast, which rhymes with beast, and this kid is amazing. They stopped the wrong guy that day. Let's just put it that way.
So I have 2 sheriff's departments that are conspiring and colluding to send me away to prison for literally no reason. And all of the evidence to show that I'm innocent is on video. And even further, all of the evidence shows how illegal and criminal what their behavior has been and how many times they violated my rights. So I have all of the footage right here. We'll get right. A little bit of a backstory. So here's the video footage right here. This officer name is Stephen Peavy. His dad is the head elected sheriff for Dooley County, Georgia. So his daddy is the sheriff. This is the officer who started this entire incident. Just show you a little bit of, this is a little bit of things that are concerning to me. This is the judge who's overseeing my case. And he hasn't done anything, you know, too concerning as of yet, but this is concerning. So this is the judge of the county. Here he is swearing in Sheriff Peavy, which is the head sheriff whose son started this whole situation with me that we're about to see. This is the judge swearing him in, which I'm sure is just protocol or whatever. You go to the judge's photos and you can see, here's the sheriff again. That's his son who we're about to watch what he did to me. And there's the judge who's overseeing the case. Here we again. That's the daddy of this officer we're about to watch. And there's the judge overseeing my case. So it all started when I drove through Georgia because Hurricane Milton was going to Florida and I had an evacuation. And where I live, it got, tore up. So I was in North Carolina mountains. After the storm, the hurricane left, I was just driving through the state of Georgia, going back down, just minding my own business, following all laws. And this officer was stationary on the side of the interstate. I drove by. He gets behind me, and I'm just noticed, like, if there's an officer behind me, that's odd. I'm not doing anything wrong. Then he gets on the side of my vehicle and looks inside of the car, and then gets behind me and pulls me over and tells me that I was following too closely, like right in the tail of a semi, which I haven't gotten any driving tickets in over 10 years. So here's the footage. It's the first
South 111 with a Black Ford Expedition, Florida, David Zulu Whiskey, Zulu 08, DC WSC 08, Florida.
He's calling in my tag. He's calling in my tag, and then he gets out, and here we go.
How's it going? Just back off that tractor trailer, okay? You're way too close. You got your license on you? Goodness, how many dogs you got? You got a dog?
I have a monkey.
Oh, man. Where you coming from?
North Carolina.
Okay, where you taking that monkey?
So I have a pet monkey. He's asking all kind of questions about the monkey. He's trying to ask trick questions about what's going on in my car. And I just politely, as you're going to see, tell him I'm not going to answer any questions at the scope of the stop because he's like, where are you taking that monkey? Where are you coming from? What you doing? And keep in mind, I know the stop is illegal because he said you were following too closely and following behind the tractor trailer. We're going to pause this right here. We're 1 minute in. Let's go to the video footage. That's me right there on the right side because I told you he got up on the side of me to look in. I don't know what. You see in a car following too closely. What do you need to get on the side and look in the car? Look how far the tractor trailer is. Keep in mind, who tailgates the bumper of a tractor trailer? Nobody does that. So he gets behind me, and then he gets his lights on, and then he pulls me over. So this is just the pull over. You can't hear anything from inside of here. So that's the first clip that they sent. This is the second clip that they sent. Again, he's just on the side of the car. He gets behind me. You can see I'm not following too closely.
You taking it for somebody?
I'm sorry.
You taking it for somebody?
I'm just gonna anything to help you outside the scope of the stop. I'm just gonna stay. And keep in mind, I know he just pulled me over for no reason. I know I was not tailgating a semi. So I know he just pulled me over and he's trying to just see if the car smell of marijuana or do like a random, to try to just, he's violating rights right now. You can't just pull someone over just because you feel like it. It's an unlawful detainment. So it's illegal at this point what he's doing.
Okay. I was just out of curiosity. You ain't in no trouble. Okay. Unless you're doing something illegal.
No, I'm just, anything outside the stop, that's on down.
Okay. That's part of the scope of the stop, though.
I don't believe that I was too close.
Okay. Well, I got you on camera right on the bumper of that car. Right. Okay. But I was going to give you a warning, but if you want... Okay. Well, I don't care what you believe. Right. I got on camera that you were out too close. You got to give at least a couple of car lengths. You were less than a car length off the back of that tractor trailer.
He said he got it on video footage. That was what I had to go through, discovery, to get in the court to get that footage. That's the footage they have because it didn't happen. He's making it up. He's lying. Who goes less than a bumper length off of a semi? Who's just obliviously driving like that? Which it never happened. Let's continue. Okay, well, and keep in mind, it's going to get worse because I said there are 2 county sheriff office who colluded together. It gets worse and worse. Watch.
Okay.
Respect your opinion, but I disagree.
Okay, it's not my opinion. It's a fact.
And I'm polite. I told him I respect your opinion, but I disagree. I was not following behind anybody. I'm being respectful and just telling them, I wasn't following anyone, and I understand this is an illegal stop.
Okay. Okay. Well, hang tight for me, okay? All right. Your license isn't legible. Your license isn't legible. Okay. All right. Hang tight for me.
Now watch this. This is where, again, I got this through discovery. They're muting conversations, because here's where all the illegal stuff's about to start. Even though it already started, the stop's illegal. I wasn't following too closely. He doesn't have probable cause to do this. And he actually gave me a summons to court. This is a criminal. Following behind somebody too close is like you're tailgating, road raging. This is criminal. I'm facing up to a year in prison for this. So here it is. They muted. He's calling whoever Darby is. Who's Darby? He's not allowed to mute this because this was this video footage was supposed to be sent through a court. So he calls this person Darby, whoever that is, which we're gonna have a motion to compel right here through the judge. We're gonna get this, and then he calls somebody else named Anthony Thompson. And then after that,
or through the mail, or you.
And then after that, he comes and he gives me this, criminal charge for following too closely. Now, when I say it's 2 counties, this is Dooley County. So now I'm driving in southern Georgia still. I get back on the car and driving, and then the next county pulls me over illegally again, and they violate my rights. Continue. So this is a continuation from his stop. So now we go to Turner County. So here is me driving. This is the video footage from Turner County. So this is 10 minutes later, same day. After he left me, he called them ahead and told them, look. And you know what? So first I want to show you. So this is for following too closely as well. They issued a warning here, but they violated rights too many times to count. Watch this. So here's my car again. Let's go. This is the officer. And also with the first stop, you notice how we were already in motion where the video footage begins that they sent me. I sent a motion to compel them to give me the footage like this. I need to see the footage from the first stop where he's stationary like this. They cut it strategically. If he was stationary like this and saw me drive by and I was too close, they would have put that footage in there. They're muting footage, cutting footage strategically, and you can see from the footage that they did provide, I'm well away from the semi. And then if you do mathematics, if he was stationary and saw me drive by, the time it would have taken me to move to get, following not too closely would have been impossible for him to have observed it. But here, we'll just see this real quick so you can see this. This is the next police department. So here's the truck. There's me. I'm not even in the same lane this time. I'm not even in the same lane. And I want you to know that that officer whose daddy is the head town sheriff there called these officers ahead and had them illegally do this. So we're going to go to his body camera footage here. So I want to show you where he gets on the phone. Look, he's looking up. He's concerned about my monkey. He's looking at monkeys inside of the car. So here, look. Here is him in the car. He gets on the phone and listen to this conversation as soon as he gets in the car. It's on video. It's like, it's crazy. He keeps the person on speaker. Look.
Oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey.
He said, did you get the stop? He's like, oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey.
In a dog cage. He told me whenever I pulled him over that it's his monkey. He said that, I said, where's your documentation? He said, I don't need any documentation to transport a monkey because it's my monkey.
Keep in mind, he just said that I just told him that. So you're going to see he's just straight lying. And I didn't do anything to these police officers. So look at this. We're going to go to the conversation we had. So this is after you saw there was no semi in my lane. Again, here am I right here. Because he's going to say that I was following the semi too closely. Here it is again for you to see. The semi, middle lane, me, right lane. There's no following too close. And why would I be following too closely? Just got a ticket, illegal criminal violation, and then be following too closely again 10 minutes later. Which I didn't do this any of these times. Keep in mind, I'm respectful, I'm nice, I'm polite to these police officers. But I'm standing up for my rights because you can't just, I feel like pulling this person over and giving them a criminal charge that could send them away to prison, and they did illegal searches here, all kind of stuff. Look at this. This is unbelievable. I promise it continues to get worse. So here we are. He's walking up to my car.
How about it, man? You got your license with you?
Why was I pulled over?
I'm almost waiting until you get your driver's license.
Okay.
Mr. Feet, is it face or face? How you say that?
I was just pulled over for a BS ticket literally
What's that?
5 seconds ago.
What'd you get a ticket for?
Y'all are out here doing, you know.
Whoa. Nah,
No,
I can't
this
be
is
held
ridiculous.
accountable.
This was 5 minutes ago, and that's a BS ticket.
Okay, well, I didn't write this, so don't take it out on me.
I'm not taking it out on you, but y'all are doing some crazy
Well,
police
see, there you
tactics.
go with y'all again. I'm not Dooley County Sheriff's Office. I'm Turner County Sheriff's Office, okay?
Okay.
I'm Lieutenant Partain. I'm with the Sheriff's Office of Turner County. The reason I'm stopping you is following too close. You were following it semi too close.
There was no one in front of me. I was following the semi too close. Again, clearly it's not. And these are criminal offenses. Following too closely mean you like, in the state of Georgia, it's criminal. You're facing a year in prison. And I didn't do anything. Like, this is crazy. Let's continue to watch. This is nuts. And it gets worse. This literally, I'm literally thinking of this as I'm driving. I was driving. There's 2 cars. You guys are parked right there. The police officers, I could move over and follow the move over law.
Right.
There's me not following anyone too close.
There was a yellow cab semi in front of you, and you were about 3 car lengths behind that semi. You're in a 70-mile-an-hour zone running 67 mile an hour, so you need to be at least 6.5 car lengths behind that vehicle to be in compliance with Georgia law. Okay, so you were following too closely. Do you?
There's a semi, and there's me. There's literally no one even in my lane. It is scary. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy that I'm in a criminal court, and the daddy is the head sheriff, and they calling the head colluding.
Semi, you're in a 70-mile-an-hour zone running 67 mile an hour, so you need to be at least 6.5 car lengths
And it continues to get worse. They make threats about potentially needing to harm me. Look, it's crazy.
behind that vehicle to be in compliance with Georgia law. Okay, so you were following too closely. Do you have your registration card, or is this
It's a rental.
You got your rental agreement with you?
I could probably look it up on the phone.
Is that a monkey?
Yes.
Do you have your paperwork to be transporting a monkey?
There's no paperwork required if I'm just traveling through the state.
Yes, sir. You got to have paperwork with you to transport a monkey.
That's not true.
Okay.
Law enforcement is supposed to...
Oh, you heard? I was literally watching some legal stuff in the car.
You got your rental on your phone?
I'm gonna look, and I want to show you the monkey so that you know that nothing is illegal. I'm driving, following all laws. Here's the laws pertaining to monkeys in Georgia. We click, and then we go down to this section B right here. And this is wildlife animal licenses and permits. So right here is the part we need to know where it's 24 hours. I'm gonna highlight it. However, that no such permit shall be required for persons. They're talking about carp right there, and you go down to hold on a second. Right here. Provided further that no such license or permit shall be required solely for the transportation of wild animals through the state, where the animal remains in this state no more than 24 hours and are not sold or transferred within the state. So if you're just in the state within 24 hours, which I've already years ago, because I've had my monkey for 5 years ago, have already talked to the Department of Natural Resources, which is the animal police in the state of Georgia, and they explained this to me.
Is that a monkey?
Yes.
Do you have your paperwork to be transporting a monkey?
There's no paperwork required if I'm just traveling through the state.
Yes, sir. You got to have paperwork with you to transport a monkey.
That's not true.
Okay.
Law enforcement is supposed to...
See, I'm listening to a law enforcement podcast because they always be doing it's crazy. They always do
You
crazy.
got your rental on your phone?
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. Is it Enterprise or which company?
Enterprise.
Okay. I didn't know if it was Avis or Hertz. There's different ones. Where'd you pick the monkey up at?
He belongs to me.
Oh, okay. So you just took your widget from Florida?
I'm not gonna answer any questions outside the scope of the stop.
Well, at this point, that is the scope of the stop because now you're in possession of unlawful possession of a monkey in the state of Georgia, and I'm fixing to get DNR to come out here. So you can either answer them to me or you can answer them to DNR. It don't.
It's because he don't know the laws. And keep in mind, I have not been disrespectful, and I know the laws. Now he's starting to be disrespectful to me, and I never get disrespectful back. I'm just not a disrespectful person.
Unlawful possession of a monkey in the state of Georgia, and I'm fixing to get DNR to come out here. So you can either answer them to me or you can answer them to DNR. It don't make no difference to me.
You don't need a license for any type of permit for transport. If you're going in and out of the state.
We'll see in just a second. Let me get a DNR right
I
now.
just coded the
You're
law.
not free to leave. At this point, you're being detained.
Okay. Which I literally was quoting him the Georgia law, and he literally just interrupted like, "Oh well, I don't care." Blah, blah, blah. Like, there's nothing more that I can do but tell him the law because he's telling me the monkey's illegal, which he's wrong. He pulled me over illegally, and he's about to violate my rights more and more and more. And this guy violates my rights. He just we're gonna continue to watch.
Oh yeah, look in the back.
He says, "Oh yeah, look in the back." So he said that because they already were talking about my monkey before from the other officer. Oh yeah, it's in the back. Now keep in mind, the stop is supposed to be for following too closely. Now he's about to get on the phone, and let's listen to this phone call.
Oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey in a dog cage.
He said, "Did you make the stop?" So again, he told the other officer, "It's in the back." And then this guy's like, "Did you make the stop?" He has him on speakerphone.
He told me whenever I pulled him over that it's his monkey. He said that I said, "Where's your documentation?" He said, "I don't need any documentation to transport a monkey because it's my monkey."
He said that you just heard what he said. I told him I don't need any documentation to transport a monkey because it's my monkey. I didn't even say that. Liar.
Okay. All right, bye.
He says, "We're going to figure this out, so just hold him there." Illegal, unlawful detainment. You can't just hold me on the side of the road like this. Pull me over illegally, violate my rights. I've already got an illegal ticket from the other department. They called ahead, and they're going to keep doing worse and worse. And if it's a lawful traffic stop and they have you get out the car, it's such a high barrier because for officer safety so they can do it, but they can't touch you. Once they touch you, they have to have a reason to believe that you are armed and dangerous. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and let me show you. When can an officer do a Terry frisk? In the court, so it's a Supreme Court case. The court ruled police can conduct limited search for weapons if they have a reasonable suspicion that the person is armed and dangerous, even if they lack probable cause for arrest. But reasonable suspicion that they are armed and dangerous. There is no reason to believe I am armed, and there is no reason to believe that I am dangerous. I've been nothing but respectful the whole time. So he violated my rights when he does this Terry frisk. And before he touched me, I told him I don't consent to this Terry frisk. So he goes and tells the other officer, he told me that he doesn't consent to a Terry frisk. And this officer in the car is going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to. You just saw the Supreme Court case. Supreme Court says you have to. And that's an unlawful search. Another violation.
Y'all that.
Here we go. Now they're going to talk smack.
Y'all this, y'all that. I'm like, oh. Don't be putting me, exactly. Don't be putting me in the same category as somebody else now. Talking about law enforcement. Like we're, yeah, Steven stopped him immediately and wrote him for following too close.
Y'all this, y'all that. Yeah, I should be upset. Because y'all are colluding together. You're colluding with Steven. He called you. Y'all call ahead. Like, this is insane. So, as you can see, everything was illegal. All this stuff's illegal. Now, where we're at with the courts situations is that we got a prosecutor who, why have you not dropped these charges? This is the second stop. They gave a warning, but the warning does not mean that my rights weren't. You can't just, you pull you over for no reason. You need to open your car. We're going to do illegal Terry frisk. Oh, let me show you. And as of where we are with the court, this situation happened on, this took place on the date of October 15th of 2024. And why has this prosecutor not dropped these charges? As far as this looks like prosecutorial misconduct for me. What do we have? Both counties and the prosecutor colluding together. Prosecutors have to drop charges if there is no evidence to charge you. As a matter of fact, evidence is not even that there's not evidence to charge me. The evidence that they submitted through the discovery shows that I didn't do anything. Why do I still have charges? Because they're trying to engage in a cover-up. I never thought I would be in this multi-county conspiracy of all these police officers and these sheriff's officers to violate my rights, give me criminal charges out of spite, and I'm going back and forth to court having to make all these like long court motions and stuff because I know how the law works, but I have to like do all this stuff. Do all these court motions to dismiss, motions to compel because the department is not complying with the court orders. Like, I had to send this. So in the motion for discovery, it says all documents related to the case. The judge already granted this motion. They send these 3 videos through the court that we just saw. Okay, those are not the only documents related to a criminal charge and to a police encounter. There are radio dispatch calls. I had to send this email to the police department telling them like, you're not in compliance. Send the stuff, Send the audio recordings and dispatch radio communications. Send the time between 2:30 and 3:30, which will show when the officer was stopped. Why are you strategically? They're sending the footage with us already in motion because him stationary. It'll be just like the second stop where this officer was stationary, and you see me just drive by, with nobody in front of me. So this police department's like, we'll just send it when he's on the side of the car. Why are you on the side of the car in the first place? He got on the side to look in the car. What about me did you need to look in to see? So the court motion say send all of the documents, not just 3 videos. And I'm letting them know that again because they're just playing games. They're trying to literally engage in a cover-up, but everything's on video. We have enough, thankfully, in this day and age. I hit the other button, but I showed you the video footage. Y'all know what video footage I was referring to. As a matter of fact, I'll make sure to show you this email, though. This email that was sent telling the department, like, look, you need to send all of the stuff. But I'll end with saying that, thankfully, in this day and age, all this stuff is on video. It's all their video footage. They did all this stuff on their own body cameras. They did all this stuff on their own dash cams. It's all their footage. They did all this stuff out in the open. Thankfully, this day and age, we can seek justice, because I will get justice. And, thankfully, in this day and age, we got all this technology to hold these people to account. Imagine 30 years ago, 50 years ago, what people had to deal with. It's sad. And the thing that's unbelievable, the whole situation is unbelievable. The main thing to me that's unbelievable, well, a lot of it is, but why? Why did y'all just decide to do this to me? I didn't disrespect anybody. I'm just driving back from a hurricane, but I don't know. You can't control other people. You can only react after the fact in regard to what you do and how you handle these situations. And that's the world we live in, guys. This is our world. Let's try to make the world a better place. Hopefully we can hold these people to account and I can do my little step. Because they've done this to a bajillion people. But not everybody knows how to do all this court and legal mumbo jumbo that you have to do. And I have to keep driving hundreds of miles back to Dooley County, the middle of nowhere, Georgia.
All right, everybody. So there's part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 through I don't know what. But This kid's doing great work, and subscribe to his channel. All right, peace.
Are you some sort of sovereign citizen or something?
No, I'm not, and that's defamation.
I'm sorry? I'm asking you a question. I'm not telling
No,
you.
sir, I do not work for the police.
Are you tired of government overreach and eroded freedoms? At tac-us.org, we're fighting back. We're the Transparency Accountability Coalition, a non-profit defending your constitutional rights. No partisanship, just principle. From protecting free speech to demanding transparency, we're here for you. Visit tac-us.org to learn more and join the movement. tac-us.org, because your rights deserve a voice. Act now.